Veterans Affairs Agency and Isabella County in the amount of $61,798 for enhanced veteran services operations, and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Okay, Ian, what do we have here?
So we do this grant every year. The state of Michigan passed this originally back in 2000, I think it was actually 17, but went in effect in 18, where each county gets $50,000 if all 83 counties apply. This year, I think 65 applied. So
wow,
yeah,
not all apply, huh?
Yeah, some counties don't want to do it. So that remaining in this case, 18 counties worth of 50,000 gets spread out for the rest of the county. So our share was 63,104. So I'm using it for what we've done in the past, the advertising, both on the electronic billboards and ICTC bus wraps, which I think have been pretty successful. I actually saw 2 of them this morning. Usually actually see the electronic billboard on Mission every morning I come to work by chance. So we don't know if it's been really successful, but it's kind of like saturation. You know, the more things are better. So I'm just going to keep it going until I see something better. Obviously, we go to outreach events. Go back to that advertising. So I actually took a photograph of our committee members, and they wanted their faces on the poster boards. If you haven't seen one, or on the electronic billboard. So I'm actually going to hire a professional photographer this year because my cell phone camera in my office wasn't that great of a photo. So we'll pay somebody to make a lot better photo and use that going forward. I'm also buying like swag. Essentially things that I've purchased in the past. That was actually real successful when I went to the home show. Lots of people took those things. It's a great way to get people to come to the table. Oh, look, a stress ball, and then generates conversation, you know, chip clips, things like that. So I'm going to definitely do a lot of that moving forward. Obviously, I'm going to be using a lot of it in the home or in the Commission on Aging next week or this week. And what was my last thing? Oh, it's basically, I just put money aside to purchase event booths because the home show costs money. So does the Isabella County Fair. Some places are free, but not every place is free. So it gives me a little extra money to pay a fee if I need to. I think that was about it. Do you have any questions?
Well, just wondering if there's any other format that we need to look at down the road. I mean, I think this is working. Advertising, just the whole advertising aspect of it.
We did radio and the first year radio and a TV ad. To be honest with you, I didn't have anybody mention that. They're very expensive, unfortunately. Basically, we only have so much dollars, so I try to stretch it as far as possible.
I was just thinking.
Yeah, they're a lot more expensive than we realize, though. So I can change it. I'm gonna have to get rid of something to compensate.
No, right.
So.
What about WCMU radio? And you know, they have
We have a pre-recorded ad actually that the media company did for us, King Media. So it's 10 seconds, I think it is 10 or 15 seconds.
They do public service, you know.
Do they?
Yeah.
Ads.
I guess that's
Okay.
in the back of my mind that I was thinking, because I heard one out of
And they'll
Clare
do those
County.
for free.
I think
They
so.
do.
I mean,
They do.
I will talk to them.
I get tired of hearing the same ad all the time.
I'll talk to them. If they'll do it for
Yeah.
free, then that's the perfect price. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the station, but they have a segment where they run free ads.
I'll look into it.
Both the CMU stations, the 91.5 and the other one, 101.3 or something like that. But yeah, they both do public service ads.
Yeah, if you could just look into that.
I will.
Going forward.
All
Yeah,
right.
because they cover a big area. That's for sure. Okay, if we
Make a motion to consider approving the fiscal year 2023 grant application between the Michigan Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency, and Isabel County in the amount of $61,798 for advanced veteran service operations, and authorize board chair to sign the same.
support, it's been moved and supported to move item 3 to the regular work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. The item will be forwarded to the work and regular session of the county commission.
Thank you.
Ian.
Thanks, Ian.
Okay, our next item is consider approving Region 7 Area Agency on Aging Purchase of Service Provider Agreement rate increase effective April 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2022, and authorize the board chair to sign the same. We have Jen Crawford here, Director of Isabella County Commission on Aging. Hi, Jen.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. So basically, we received this correspondence from Region 7 Area Agency on Aging, and they let us know that they just understand or are aware of the increase in cost of doing business. And so they have provided this rate increase to all providers in their waiver program. So this is our waiver or purchase of service agreement that we are currently in, and it's through this September, so through September 30th. And they have increased their rates for our in-home waiver services that we help provide by 50 cents per unit, which was very nice of them. So this is just a change to that agreement, just increasing that rate from going back to April 1st through September 30th of this year.
Great.
Yes, that was very nice of them.
Any
No.
comments or questions on this item?
No, it's straightforward. We'll take it.
Sounds good.
Okay, could we have a motion, please?
Sure can. Motion to consider approving the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging Purchase of Service Provider Agreement rate increase effective April 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2022, and authorize board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 4 to the work and regular session of the county commission next Tuesday. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. The item will be forwarded to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, our next item is consider approving the contract with Spence Brothers for Isabella County Administration Building Roof Replacement Project in the amount of $248,000 and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Okay, Steve, what is yours here? Public Facilities Director. Morning, Steve.
How you guys doing?
All right.
You can't see them because they don't have their video on, but Brian Keeler is on the Zoom.
Very good.
Oh, it looks like he's
Oh,
coming
there he
on
is.
right now, so. Good morning, Brian.
Morning.
Morning, Nicole. So we had sent out an RFP for the HVAC replacement and the roof replacement. And the bids came back, and as you can see from my staff report, at like 2.2 and 2.3 roughly $1 million. So we had made the decision that we would at least make sure we went ahead with our with the roof. So we asked for an all-in quote from both of the bids that we got on the HVAC package to begin with. Greenwald and BC offered a 30-year warranty at a cost of $378,811. And Spence Brothers come in with a 20-year warranty at a cost of $248,000. Being as how the fact that I thought we could turn around in 10 to 15 years, put a rubber membrane on top of this roof, commonly done. We're gonna have to do that with the courthouse here in the next few years. At a cost of $25,000 to $30,000, we didn't feel that it would offset the 50% increase in costs from going with Greenwald and BC. I know they had some more decking in there to make it, but we felt that this was the best deal for the county.
I'm sure it's expensive, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
We have a lot of roofs.
We have a lot of roofs, yes.
I mean, I know we have a lot of roofs, but
That are good.
condition wise, yeah.
Oh, yes, we have the state police and health department roof that's gonna have to come up, and that's a huge complex there. The courthouse, we can put another skin on it here in another 3 years, get that by another 10 or 15, as long as we do it before it gets in poor shape like this one has. This one was to the point where it was just so bad. We've been patching it for years. I've been told that it's beyond that. So now it's gonna have to be stripped right down to the deck with a new system put on it. which is the way it has to be for code anyway, so.
20-year warranty, is that pretty standard? for cities?
We'd asked for, I believe, a 30 in the contract,
Mhm.
but it was an RFP, up to them type deal. Yeah, I would say you don't get too much more than 20, 25 years out of a roof.
Mhm.
I mean, like I said, the courthouse will need to be done here in the next few years, and that's 22 years now, 23 years now, so I mean,
Uh-huh.
Once they start this project, how long of a project is this?
that'd be a good question, John.
How
Yeah.
long a project is this?
We're anticipating probably about 3 to 4 weeks.
That's not bad at all.
Not at all.
No. Okay.
And I would say the county attorney right now has the contract documents that Spence Brothers provided. They're reviewing those for any comments, any changes. Usually we write some indemnity language in there for the county.
Mhm.
And so I'm sure that the attorney will offer that change, but we'll have agreement on that language before the final is considered, before the final contract language is considered by you next Tuesday. You should have that to go out in the packet this Friday, so you'd have access to the final
Okay.
contract. We were not able to, you noticed probably in the staff report that we had to hyperlink their Spence Brothers
Mhm.
original proposal. We did print one hard copy, which is in front of you there, but it was just too large of a document to be able to email out in any way. But if you do want to see their full proposal, that is hyperlinked to the staff report.
Okay.
Are they gonna use part of the parking lot for staging area or?
I'm assuming we're gonna have to certainly. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And set,
A portion of the parking lot on the north side will
Mhm.
have to be barricaded off.
And this does include all disposal.
Yep, it'll be a complete removal, taking care of all the debris and then the new install. Yep.
And do we know when it would be scheduled for yet?
Yeah, that was the one question I knew you were gonna ask that I don't have an answer yet. We
Yeah.
lost the contractor we had in mind. He had some reserved and lost it to some other jobs due to just other jobs getting in front of us. He's got an order in for insulation right now. The backup is insulation, as you probably heard on other projects. It's not readily available. They are pursuing how to find some insulation right now.
Well, we certainly, this isn't the only project that will have supply chain issues, certainly. And we know that we did not expedite this decision. So I'm sure that led to that in some degree. So we understand.
So this will help with our heating and cooling costs a little bit.
should,
Yeah, you're getting more insulation than you have now. I think you've got 2 inches up there now and you'll have over 5
Okay.
for the new install.
the insulation that's up there is saturated in a lot of places too, so I'm sure that that's adding to it as well.
Yeah. Good.
Any more questions or comments on this one?
Good.
We can entertain a motion, please.
Sure. Make a motion to consider approving the contract with Spence Brothers and Isabel County Administration Building Roof Replacement Project in the amount of $248,000 and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 5 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 5 will be forwarded to the work and regular session of the county commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Nicole.
Yeah, thank you. Moving on, our next item is consider approving the reorganization of the front business office portion of the Community Development and Inspections Department, eliminating both administrative assistant 2 positions and adding to administrative coordinator position at a non-union employee pay grade 10 and an administrative assistant 3 position at a non-union employee pay grade 8 effective immediately. And we have Tim Newport Community Development Director here to brief us on this.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Sorry for the lengthiness of the, both the staff report and the motion.
Yeah.
This is something that several weeks, the administrator and I have talked about, I've brought to her and we've spoken about. We have a resignation, retirement in the office for long-standing administrative assistant within the office. With that, I've looked at some strategies in different ways to kind of reevaluate what we have up front, what's there, kind of the whole bigger picture, everybody in general. But it really focuses itself back up to the front office, to the support staff. The other positions in the office, inspectors, we got one licensed certified building inspector, building official, and that's it. There's nobody else can do his job. Nobody else is licensed here to do his job. So there's not a whole lot of movement there. So with this, we basically took a look at the current functions and duties and how things were running now. I pulled together kind of a draft summary of what things looked like currently, what duties they were doing that were sort of outside of the current classification that they are in, and what things might we need for them to be doing moving forward as responsibilities and functions of the positions. And what it came down to was, both of the positions aligned much closer with other classified positions we have in the county. So getting
Other
rid of-
departments.
Yeah, in other departments, yes. So for example, the administrative coordinator position is a position that is currently classified, and I believe we have it in 2 other departments. Parks and Rec has one, as well as I believe the other one's in the Sheriff's Department. Maybe it was, I think.
Yeah.
Jen Wilson maybe over there in the church.
Generals.
And so, looking at their duties and their functions and what they're doing and their responsibilities going on and trying to create and build as much efficiency within those inspector positions, those positions we have a single person doing the work in, we want them as efficient as possible. We want them to be able to do certain things. We don't want them, organizing their day-to-day operations stuff. We want them out in the field doing the inspection, getting out there and getting out of the office. So with that and coming up with those responsibilities and functions, I've only got one of these. It's just sort of my draft summary for my own notes purpose. But some of the things that the administrative assistant moving to an administrative assistant 3 position would do is coordinating and managing that staff workflow for those inspectors and such. Coordinating and managing our plan review process, the process when a project comes to us, what it entails, how it entails, the costs, the bigger picture of the process is all done at this level, or will be done at this level. Managing Planning Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals packet preparation, meeting notification process as required by statute, as well as recording the formal actions of those boards. Housing Improvement Program, asset management, balancing, basically taking what we have out there in mortgages today and making sure that we're tracking that for when they're paid off, what we have left, and moving us towards a new process within the housing program. It performs contract oversight program, some complex financial transactions and such. The administrative coordinator position is more a position that I see of being that sort of oversight to that front end business office or your front end business office manager. They're going to oversee the operations of that front end. They're going to assign work to the other staff. They're going to, authorize payroll. They're going to take and perform evaluations on those staff that they're responsible for and make recommendations up to me for action.
A lot more responsibility.
So they will take on much more responsibility. And as I said, I believe in my staff report, some of this over 20 years in that department, some of it sort of has migrated to them already. Some of that has been assigned to them over the years. And now that we have this vacancy, it gives us that opportunity to take a bigger, more in general look at the department to see where we are. Do we need it? Can we reorganize in a different fashion and go a different way? Or is this the direction we need? At this time, after looking at the financials, And I think I calculated both what it would cost us to do this in fiscal year 22, and then I give us an estimated cost into fiscal year 23. In 22, moving the administrative assistant position from an administrative assistant 2 to a 3 would actually save us about $400. The movement from an administrative to the administrative coordinator position would cost us just over $1,000. So the net result this year is about $800. And with that being said, the building inspections fund funds one of these positions wholly, which is the administrative coordinator position, and the administrative assistant 3 position would be a 50-50 split between general fund because it performs functions within community development, which is outside of the building inspections fund activity, as well as part of the building inspections fund. So, 3/4 of the cost here would be associated back to the building inspections fund, and only 25% of the costs would be associated with general fund itself.
Oh, okay.
Next year, moving forward, I put this together just to see what it looks like because we're in such a small portion this year. I didn't want anybody to think that there's this hidden secret. We're only costing $800. For next year, for a full year, with a new hire in the administrative assistant 3 position, because that position would be vacant, that would cost us around $1,300 a year additional. And that would be the position that would be 50-50 funded. That $1,300 additional for the year is calculated with a health insurance plan of a full family. We don't know what we're going to get, but it's a worst case scenario.
Okay.
So it could be less than that moving forward.
And that's typical that you budget for
The high end, yeah,
the just in case.
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
This is worst case scenario
Yeah.
estimate here. And in the other position, the administrative coordinator position, it would be around just shy of $3,500 in that position for the year. Again, that position would be totally 100% funded in the building inspections fund. So that would be completely incurred by building inspections. And I believe in my staff report, I gave you a lump sum totals. The total financial impact for general fund in fiscal 23 would be a reduction. I'm sorry, no. Yeah, we modified the staff report. I'm not sure that language is correct there anymore. But going off of the numbers that I just indicated, the 3,400 for the one position and the 1,300 for the other, or about 4,800 there total. About $4,000 would be associated with building inspections fund, and about $700 or $800 associated with general fund there. And so, looking at those two, looking at the functions and the responsibilities that are there, and taking a look at the financials and seeing the negligible amounts that we're increasing, I did bring a copy of my current fund balance as well out of the building inspections fund. The current fund balance of the building inspections fund began the year at $703,000, currently sits at $681. It's over 100% fund balance currently. Most of that is incurred due to the permit fees that came from the wind turbines. So there's still a lump sum of money sitting from that project there, which sort of took on some processes for our staff as well that they took on through. The project was the largest project I'll ever see in our office. And maybe the second to the solar one that's coming, but it currently is the largest. So there was other functions and duties and responsibilities they took on. And so we do have the monies within the fund to make it happen, as well as the duties and responsibilities I think are aligned with what those other classifications are in our current classification structure. Questions about it?
Sounds good to me, Tim.
Yeah, no, I think we're going in the right direction.
I did my best to be as fiscally responsible with it, as I could based on the duties and responsibilities, and just kind of pull it together as a whole and take a complete look at it, not just a partial. I think in my staff report, I also talked about, my position moving forward in future years. Currently, my position is solely out of development, which is in that general fund item. There's an opportunity, I think, moving forward in budget year and into next year to potentially make some recommendations there to pull a portion out. And I did do some analysis and some evaluating of how much day-to-day function do I do in my job, over building inspections. It's a hard thing to come up with, but I think a very conservative number of 15%, which is currently about $18,000 of my total compensation, could potentially be moved as well out of general fund in the next coming fiscal year, or next upcoming budget, which would additionally save us monies in general fund, obviously incurring more costs into the building inspections fund, but we have it to support it currently. The building inspections fund are something that we monitor, and we take a look at those fee structures on an annual basis. And I think with the amount of fund balance we currently have, we don't need to look at that in the near. I mean, we look at it, but I don't think we need any changes in the very near future. I think it was an overall comprehensive, financial.
Before
evaluation.
the wind turbine, I mean, what normally would have been in that fund? Roughly.
We were roughly in the 50%, 60%, so about 300,000-ish in that range. 400
Looking for a little
maybe.
history.
Yeah. Again, I think with that solar project, moving its way forward still, I think there's more work, more details, more items to come for our office.
Sure.
We might have to do some hiring of some part-time fill-in inspectors to kind of help us along the way with that project a little bit. But again, we'll have the funds to be able to do it. It would be something we consider later. It's just, we took on a 500-pound gorilla, and we're going to take another one on here pretty quickly, I think. We've been working on the turbine project since 2016, and they were out doing wind analysis and studies this weekend, of which I don't believe they were able to get good data on. So I think they're going to be headed back from New Hampshire in the next couple of weeks to do it all over again.
Wow.
Just the winds have been so different and erratic, and they need
Oh,
somewhat
that's
of a
for sure.
consistent wind, and they get these gusts, and it just throws the data all off. I think they were in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think Saturday was good. I think Sunday wasn't very good. And I think Friday was iffy, like right on the edge of it. So just need the sunshine with the solar. We don't the wind doesn't bother us.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
And they're doing a sound study right now on the
Yeah.
turbines, right?
Yep.
How's that coming along?
That's what this company has come into town for.
Okay.
So we don't have any data from them to know where it's aligning with regard to our ordinance yet. But they were in a few weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, I think it was, they were in. They studied like 5 sites, and they only got data for 2 of them. 3 of them weren't the data wasn't good. Again, wind issue. And this weekend, I think they missed about 3 again. So I think we're probably gonna get into them coming one more time to finish it up, and then we should have a report out of them, I think, by the end of June. So,
okay.
I suspect and I believe it's going to come in, good from an alignment standpoint, with regard to our ordinance, and we're taking in very few, if any, types of complaints about it. So
That's great.
you'd figure if you got more complaints, you might end up with issues. And
Yeah.
so, we're seeing some, but we're not seeing an overly abundant amount of them that would throw any caution to the wind, no pun intended, for us.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion to consider approving the organization of the front business office portion of the Community Development and Inspection Department, eliminating both the Administrative Assistant 2 position and adding a Administrative Coordinator position at a non-union employee pay grade 10 and a Administrative Assistant 3 position at the non-union employee pay grade 8, effective immediately.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 6 to the work regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes have it, and the item will be moved to the work in regular session next week.
Thank you. Thank you guys very
Thanks,
much.
Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Yep.
Okay, anybody else have anything to say or comment on?
There's no public at this time. on
Okay.
the-
Okay. If that's the case, I'd like to adjourn the Human Rights and Public Works Committee meeting today. Thank you. Ooh, a few things on today.
Mm.
So I might